Let me record. All right, you guys, welcome to the weekly huddle. We have got some fun stuff for you tonight. But first, hey, Mary Carmen. Yes, we're ready for Magic Week. First, we are going to get started with some shout outs and some celebrations. Some fun things have happened this week. We've had some people add some new VIPs. So shout out to Rosie, Rachel Stucca, Hunter Russell, Kim Hare, and Sandra, aka Chelsea, helping her level 1 VIP enroll a friend, for helping VIPs get started this week. We have, I don't think, any new 3 earners. But y'all, let me just remind you of this. When you enroll 1, you get 250 perks. This is how I redeem all of my Joyome, with perks I never pay for. When you enroll 3, you get a super cute little bento box, and my children are already trying to steal it. It came like 2 days after I won it. And then when you enroll 6, you unlock a $400 bonus. And y'all, I want to take a minute to just encourage you in this. The reason we call this Magic Week has nothing to do with the week itself being magical. It has everything to do with the timing and what we know that people are kind of thinking right now. A lot of people get paid at the end of the month, right? If they're getting paid twice a month. I have a lot of people who've said, once I get paid, then I'll be able to get started. So that's one reason. The other reason is because mentally people want to start new things on the first of the month. And so if we can help people kind of see the value and get started next week in the 1st of March, that is just mentally going to be a time where a lot of people are wanting to reset and get restarted. Here's what I want to challenge you to do, okay? I want to challenge you to know what you're working towards. And I want to challenge you to listen. And I want to challenge you to invite more people to do this with you. If Paige had never messaged me about what she was doing with Plexus, I would have never gotten started. Girl, she opened the door because she knew she had something that could change other women's lives. It drastically changed Paige's life. Maybe we'll have her on here and have her share her testimony. Decades of PCOS symptoms gone with Plexus. Postpartum hormones balanced with Plexus, right? All sorts of things. And that is who we get to be right now. We get to be the friend who open-handedly invites somebody into this with us. Okay? No agenda. Nothing other than, hey, this has worked for me, and I'm wondering if it could work for you too. Do you have any reason to learn more about what I'm doing with Plexus? And y'all, 2 things happen when you do that. 1, someone sees just how passionate you are about this. And 2, you have opened the door. They didn't even have to come and knock. You just opened the door and invited them in. Okay? That's why we do this. So I want to challenge you. What are your goals for this month? And who can you invite to do this with you? Okay? If you can do those 2 things, know what you're working towards and invite people in, I am telling you, I think next week we can be celebrating 10 people earning the $400 bonus. Y'all, $400 additional dollars on top of the compensation plan. Raise your hand if you want that. The more doors you open, the more people you're able to help. The more passionately you post, the more genuine your open door seems. It all works together very cyclically. Cyclically. That's a word. And that is why we do what we do, because we want to help more people find the freedom that we have found. Okay. So that is my challenge for getting started off this month, ending this month, starting off this call, ending this month, reaching towards big goals, inviting people to do this with you. And I am now going to kick it to my friend Kim Hare, who is going to share a little bit of her story with Plexus. And I want to set this up by telling you something. I thought Kim was healthy. Kim and I were friends from Sunday school. I really liked her. Like we got along. And then one day I found out that maybe everything wasn't going so well. So Kim, what was going on in your life when we talked about plexus the first time?
Yeah. So, okay, really, that's kind of how I was going to start. And I think that a lot of people, like, if you don't have this big, drastic, like, especially an external transformation, you're like, I don't really have a story to share. Like, I don't have a big testimony. And also, most of us, I think, probably thought, I'm healthy. Like, I'm fine. I'm like, I don't have like a, third eyeball or something, like I'm fine. Or if you don't struggle with like IBS or anything, you're like, gut health, I don't need that. And truly, that's what I thought. Like, I would see Tracy share. I kind of knew what she was doing. And I was like, no, I'm really fine. Thanks, though. And then let's see, she had asked me once about plexus. And again, I was like, no, I'm fine. And then we were really becoming closer friends. She invested in my life, you guys. Um, there are a lot of things that happened probably between the first time she reached out and the second time she reached out about plexus that, like, looking back, I'm like, I know her heart now. And so I know why she was doing those things, but it was really building that trust with me. So then when she asked me the second time, I was like, well, I mean, like these are kind of annoying things that happened to me. Oh, I get UTIs like all the time. Like it's my job. And if y'all have not had a UTI, y'all, it is the worst. Like, I mean, I was working in a corporate office and I would just be like, I'll be working in the bathroom, you guys, because like I was so uncomfortable. And I would get them like honestly every other month. So it didn't matter what I did, like preventative care. I was drinking the cranberry juice. I was, popping the orange pills, all those things. And it still did not matter. And I would be on an antibiotic, like honestly, like every other month. And it was so bad. And I didn't realize this at the time, like how much my body was going through, even just like because of the UTIs, but because of the antibiotics that I kept getting on. And so now I'm like, oh man, if I would have only known. So that was one piece of my story. The other part is I was struggling with insomnia. My mom had passed December of 2019. And when Tracy reached out in June of 2020, y'all, I hadn't been sleeping through the night, basically that entire period. And I knew that was my body was going through, that's how I was grieving. Um, but then it was causing me to be so exhausted during the day. And like, I'm still trying to be like a functioning adult, with a demanding job, like looking like I had everything, all together. And I didn't. Um, it's actually funny, little sidebar. Um, Mary's husband, Kayvon, saw a picture of me from that time period the other day. He didn't know what was going on in my life, but I was showing him like a vacation that we had taken. And he was like, wow, your complexion looks so different. Like you don't even look the same. And it was like, wow. I mean, I knew what I was going through at the time, but for him to like see the visible difference in me, like, I mean, now I look back and I looked like not good. Um, but it was just funny because now I'm like, now he only sees this version of me, not the version of me almost 4 years ago. Praise God for that. So, I wasn't sleeping through the night. I was depending on all of like the energy drinks, everything, and then it was just like rinse and repeat. And then I had grown up as a competitive dancer, so I had just years of like really hard um impact on my joints, and my knees were in bad shape. And I just like everything. So all three of those things I could, well, not so much the UTIs, but the like poor energy, bad sleep, and the joint pain, I could justify why I was dealing with those things. But I was wrong, y'all. Like I had no idea that my body was out of whack. And so once I got my gut in check, started on triplex and ease from like, I will never not be on triplex and ease. Like I've not had a UTI in almost 4 years. Um, I started sleeping through the night after 2 weeks of being on triplex. After not sleeping for almost 6 months in 2 weeks. That was enough for me to be like, okay, I need to share what I'm doing. And then the joint pain is something that I don't deal with, which again, praise God, because y'all, I have like a rambunctious 2-year-old. Like I am running, I am jumping, I am going up and down our new stairs, and I don't have to worry about just like my knee giving out anymore. So those are my 3 things that like I thought I was healthy, but I was dealing with them, but I don't have to deal with it anymore. And I'm so, so grateful.
I will never forget. Were we in your kitchen? I can't remember where we were when you told me you had chronic UTIs, and I was like, I can help you. Like, that is like the one thing that when somebody tells me that, I am like, oh my gosh, like, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to
Yeah.
struggle with that. Like, this can help you. And there's combinations that can really benefit that, specifically triplex and ease, because of the inflammation and the getting the bad bacteria out. And then the amount of water, like, that you are drinking and the bio cleanse, how it is all working to remove things from your body. I have multiple friends who have dealt with that and then not dealt with that after plexus. And um, I think it's really crazy, Kim, looking at like your story now and just remembering where I was when I reached out to you, and just like not knowing, but like also knowing that there were silent sufferers. And so I'm so grateful that that's your story now. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, the next part of our call, y'all, Allie Hostin and I were talking, and I was like, Allie, I think some people are just in a little bit of funk with their business. Okay, some low energy. Some of us are still like recovering from vacation. And Allie brings the energy, you guys. And when she's down, she doesn't stay down. But she's learned some skills along the way that have helped her. And so that is what I asked Allie to share about tonight. Allie.
Okay, friends. Well, first of all, I just love you guys. I want y'all to know I love each and every one of y'all. And I'm so grateful that you carved out time tonight. Second of all, I want to preface this with I want you to just keep an open mind. And there was things on my journey, y'all. When somebody told me to do them, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. There's got to be another way. But you guys, the things that have grown me the most have been the things where I was like, I really don't want to do that. But then I finally did it. And I was like, they were right, dang it. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. So, y'all, has anybody felt like you have been like doing the things you're posting? Maybe you're sharing testimonies. Maybe you feel good about posting, but it has been a little bit since you have like shared your own story, just like Kim just shared, of like, what did it used to feel like? Because so many of us are like, we feel good. I feel so good. And like, we are not talking about how it felt to not feel good drowning in the pool. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. So I think something that every single time I'm in a funk, I'm like, oh, yes, came from Emily Gibson, but shoot fire, it's the truth. If I can go live, okay, this is where hang with me. Go live. I take out a little note card, you guys. I write 5 things I felt before, 5 things I'm feeling now. So when I'm shaking and feel like I need to go pee 10 times, I have this and I'm ready. It's going to keep me focused. Okay. And some of you, I want you to drop a 1 in the comments if you don't ever go live, or it is very rare that you go live. Let me know. Okay. Tracy says 1. Michael says 1. Anna, Deborah, thank y'all for being honest. Okay. Yes, Tracy gonna do it. Michelle, you can't. Yeah, Michael says never. Okay. Here's the beautiful thing, you guys. If it is rare or if it is never, even better, because your friends are gonna see that pop up in their news feeds and be like, what is Michael doing? Going live. Okay. So this is a good thing. You're gonna title your live the opposite of what you are feeling now. So let's think about this. Tired, eating all the things, feeling like a busted can of biscuits. I don't care what y'all put in there, but put something in there that people are gonna be like, what is she talking about? Because she's always talking about how much energy she has. Stop the scroll, you guys. Don't feel like you need to write a novel. And then just come in there. Tell us, literally, what I would love is in Wellness Warrior Hope Shares. I didn't even ask Tracy, but here I go. Wellness Warriors Hope Shares. We're just be like, about to do the thing, about to go live. And if we're on and we're sitting there, we're like, here I go. I'm going to go watch Michael. Here I go. I'm going to go watch Deborah. And we just like go watch each other if we're sitting there for 5 minutes and comment so our friends know you're not alone. And you just hold your little note card to shaky us. If you can shake the whole time, it's okay. Just be like, y'all, I never do this. You can literally say this, I never do this, or this makes me wildly uncomfortable. But here I am, because you guys, this is what I dealt with. This was my normal for years. And I don't know if I shared all that with y'all. I'll be real. I don't even know if I have. I've shared it with some people personally, but I'm like, I'm going to share and just say, this is what it felt like. Just read it off. I was over here eating all the sugar, had no self-control. I was bloated, getting ass when my baby was due. I was not pregnant. Just y'all, list it off. You guys, couple weeks in, couple months in, like Kim, I'm over here sleeping through the night. What in the world? That hadn't happened in months. I'm over here. Kelly, you don't have to show your card. I'm just saying, have it there. So that way when you're nervous and you're like, oh, what? Because has anybody gone live and been like, oh, what was I going to say? And then next thing you know, you're off and you're talking about your kids and you're like, that's not what I came on here to do. Anyway, I'm just saying, I think it is helpful to have that. Okay. Share a few things that you're feeling now. And you guys, I just had to say it because this is something I tell myself before I go live too. I hope the one person that needs to see this watches this tonight. I'm not sharing this for everybody. I'm sharing this for the one person that needs to hear my story. And then you just wrap it up. Hey, I don't know if you're struggling like I was struggling, but shoot, I'm so glad that my friend vulnerably shared her story with me. And so that was awkward, but I just had to say it. And I hope that you'll have the courage, because I had to muster up some courage to do this. Hope you'll have the courage to leave a comment or message me and let's just chat. I wonder if this might be the thing that could give you a new normal. Okay, bye y'all, and end it. Just end it. And then go in the other room, shake, do what you need to do, run around the house, do a couple squats, cry, whatever. And then fun thing you can do with a live, you can actually share it to your stories. Because something you're going to learn about lives is the only time you can see who's watching it is while you're going live, but you're trying to read your card and not talk about your kids or your dog. So that's why I like to share it to my stories so I can then see who's watching it. I just think it's super helpful. And then, ready, here's the next step. You're not done. Then you're going to go and you're going to private message your potentials. Okay. Hey, Lydia, I don't know if you saw, I was nervous and sweating bullets, but I just shared a little bit of my story and I thought of you. If I tagged you in the comments, would you have a couple minutes to watch it? Y'all, that is driving people to your post, to your live, to hear your heart. It matters, you guys. And the algorithm loves it. They love it. So shoot, we might as well. And we're over here talking about building relationships, being real. Yes, do not talk for 10 minutes, please. If you need to, you guys, I've done this before. I have videoed myself and then I went and did it. So then like I got out all the jitters, all the ums and the, y'all know. But at the end of the day, it does not matter. It does not need to be perfect. But I think that powerful of a live, and then you share some of your like, I'm looking for 3 people, but they've like heard your heart. They know why you're looking for these 3 people. Anyway, I've seen it help, friends. I've seen somebody message me out of nowhere and there's like, girl, the way you share, I'm like, okay, well then let's chat now, friend. So anyway, that's my tip, y'all.
Okay. How long would you say to keep the video? No longer than
like 6 or 7 minutes, y'all. Let's not, we don't have people's attention that long.
I was gonna say 3 or 4.
Yeah.
We
would say
live in a
too.
fast-paced world, y'all. And so the more you ramble, if you start rambling, people are going to move on. Okay. So practice if you need to, but
Julie
I
says
want you, what?
I'm reading the comments. Julie says 2 minutes. That's what you got.
Two. Okay. Practice if you need to. Julie's giving herself balloons. I don't know how you did that. Kelly, what are you doing? What?
Okay, how are you guys doing
I
that?
don't know how to do that.
Cool.
You have to be doing it on your phone. If you have an iPhone.
Julie's not on her phone.
I'm
Are you
not
on
on
your-
my phone. That's my computer.
What?
I can't
You
do
have
it
a
on
Mac
my
and you
phone.
don't
Sorry,
have-
we totally sidetracked. Yes, it's a Mac.
It's a Mac, that's why.
I turned on a recognize hand gesture feature, but I don't know that it's gonna do it. 2 to 3 minutes, y'all. Keep this concise. If you have to do 3 things, not 5. The point is to genuinely share your story. And I want to follow this up with one tip. Remember, a lot of people do not know what it is that they are struggling with. They don't know that they have postpartum depression. They don't know that they have PCOS. They don't know that they have high blood pressure or that they're pre-diabetic. They don't know that they struggle with debilitating anxiety. Like they don't know the name for the thing that they have. Okay. And so when you're talking about this, you want to talk about how it feels. And here's my example for this. I could tell you when I came to Plexus, I was really struggling with postpartum depression. Or I could tell you, I would wake up in the morning and I would be exhausted before I even saw my child. And I was counting down the minutes until he went down to his nap time. And I just knew that that was not how I wanted to live my life. I was really struggling with feeling joyful. And I felt down more days than I felt up. Do you see the difference here? Y'all, I didn't know I had postpartum depression until I didn't have it anymore. And somebody told me, Tracy, that was postpartum depression. And I was like, everybody just told me it was normal. Right? But like those things that Paige was sharing, feeling like the joy had been sucked out of her, feeling down more than she felt up, like kind of resenting even looking at her kids in the morning and counting down the minutes to nap time, that I could relate to. I was like, wait, I'm doing that. She can help me with that. That pink drink helps her with that. And so think about that as you're writing this list. Think about emotions that you felt before you started Plexus, right? Exhausted, unenergized, counting down the minutes to bedtime, right? Kelly, we're not going to worry about words you should avoid as long as you're focusing on the way that you felt. Okay? What if you struggled with thyroid issues? What did that feel like? Right? I was gaining weight and no matter what I did, it wasn't falling off and it continued to add on the pounds. I was frustrated. I was tired of trying to make all of the best food choices in the world, right? For me, I knew the things I needed to do to lose weight, but I just couldn't do them. I knew I needed to work out. I knew I needed to eat better. I knew I needed to move my body more, right? I just couldn't do them by myself. I needed a tool to help me. So now I do those things with the help of Plexus, right? It's meeting people where they're at and realizing most people don't know why they feel the way they feel. And most of them have been told it's normal to some realm, especially if they're a mom or a grandmom, or they work, 40, 50-hour weeks. They've just been told it's normal. And so now we're going to offer, hey, actually it's not normal, but we want to meet them where they're at. So 3 minutes max, live videos this week. Drop a 2 in the chat if you're in for this challenge. And the icing on top is commenting, messaging your prospects, just like Ali said, and saying, hey, Kim, I just went live and shared a little bit of my story. It's 3 minutes long. If I tagged you, would you check it out? The other tip is after you go live, you can comment in the comments of your live at everyone and at followers. And that is going to boost your post into their notification center. And so that is just a tip. You don't want to do it all the time, because I have friends that do it all the time and I'm like, oh gosh, like what have they highlighted now, right? But you can do that. You want to make sure the word turns blue. If it doesn't, it didn't take. Okay. So that is just another tip. And then let us know in Wellness Warrior Hope Shares once you do that. Allie, thank you for your tip. I'm so excited to go live, and I'm usually terrified to go live. So if I'm terrified to go, I know Mary's like, really? You're terrified to go live? I don't like it, but I'm going to do it because I put a 2 in the comments. So here we go. We are going to round out tonight, y'all. I asked Cami Heath to come and share a little bit of her business why. Now, she's actually shared her business why on here before, but y'all, homegirl just got back from Punta Cana, and some things are just broiling over there. So Cami, share with us, how things kind of shifted for you in Punta Cana.
Okay. I am on an iPad tonight, so I'm trying to look at the camera and I don't know where that is. So just FYI. So I have struggled a lot through this whole process with like my bigger vision. I started sharing initially because I needed the cost of my products covered. I knew that there was absolutely zero long-term line item in my budget for this. So I knew that if I was going to continue the products, that I was going to have the cost covered. And so that really was just how it started. And I kind of had my first like business builder kind of jump in, and I was like, here we go, we're going to the top, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of became more than I ever thought it could be. And so then my vision for this did begin to grow, and my why did change into like, what if I really could like actually make some money doing this? It really always has been about providing a little bit of extra income for our family. And I wouldn't say that has necessarily changed, but I think what I've always struggled with is feeling like, what is this really going to look like? My husband is a pastor. And so as we have begun to just really dig into what this business is supposed to be and how important it is to build relationships with people in this business, and how important it is, especially our team, and how we are always aiming to meet people where they are and serve people well, I'm like, gosh, it kind of sounds a whole lot like what I do in ministry with my husband. And so then I kind of hit this roadblock almost where I'm like, okay, so I'm pouring out a lot in ministry, and then I'm pouring out a lot here too. Like it almost felt like, I don't know. I think when I first came to Plexus, and one of the things that drew me into the community was like the safe space that Plexus can be, and like just the safe place to land. And then I'm like, okay, and so now I'm going to shift this a little bit into like more pouring out. And so it just always felt really fuzzy. And I talked with Michelle and Tracy about this a lot. And it just, I'm like, I mean, I can see it, and I can kind of see how this can be a ministry. But then when we went to Punta Cana, it's so funny because that I'm talking about this, because I still don't necessarily feel like I can put it into exact words, but I can see it. Like I just got to see it so much clearer now. And I just got to really experience how like much I got to encourage people in the Lord, how much people got to encourage me in the Lord. How And I knew that, like, it's not like I necessarily learned anything about anybody that I didn't already know, but I just got to continue to experience people on a deeper level, and just got to see their hearts and just how much they pour out to people, and like are still doing so much ministry on these trips. And it just gave me such a clearer vision of like how this is possible. And so often in our ministry, like I've always felt I kind of called to ministry as well. Like I've always loved serving right alongside Jason in his ministry, but clearly like he is the pastor. I am not the pastor of the church. Like, he is the pastor, and I am definitely with him, and like I do a lot with him. And I feel like I just got to see, like, this can be like my chance to kind of have a ministry that he comes alongside with me. And like, we are still, I don't necessarily envision us like going all in together with Plexus, and like both of us are gonna, like, he's gonna quit his job and we're both gonna do Plexus together. Like, I don't see it that way, but more so like I seriously love what he does, and I love being a part of that. And now I'm like, and now I can kind of do this and he can be a part of this, and we're just gonna get to do it all together, you know. And I don't know, like, it's just been super, super exciting coming back and like being able to have a little bit more of a vision for what this could be and how to bring other people into that. And so that has been super, super exciting just to kind of see it take off on a different level. So,
I love that. Y'all, whys are supposed to shift. Um, they are. They shift from season to season, and that's good. It's good because what you started for yourself, now you're looking and saying, wait, now I have an opportunity to invite others in on this with me. And that feels a whole lot more like service, right? So many of us start sharing for our own needs, right? We need a little extra income, or we need to get our products covered, or we need, right? And then there's a shift when you start to see others and you say, oh my goodness, what this has been for me, I can now invite others to do this too. And what we talked about in our book club tonight that met before this was the power of listening and the power of being the person who listens to someone. And that's truly what we get to do. And so as we go out from here, I just want to challenge you, yes, to go live and do something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, because I think success lies on the outside of where we are comfortable. Where you're uncomfortable today, the goal is that in 3-4 months, that would feel so simple. And I know that that's how it will be, because that's how it's been so many things for me. In that, I also want to challenge you to listen. Listen to the people who you are talking to. Listen to the people that are coming across your path who need these products. Maybe they don't need Reset and Triplex. Maybe, like my tanning girl, they need Slim MBA, Vital Biome, and X Factor. No, sorry, Ease. Slim MBA, X Factor, and Ease. Vital Biome and Ease. Like, maybe you need to listen and create a custom combo for them based on the needs that they have. And so we have systems for a reason, but sometimes when you listen and you hear someone, it allows an opportunity for you to meet them where they're at in a way that you haven't met people before. Maybe when you listen, you see that not only do they need help, but they also need finance help too. And so presenting the opportunity doesn't feel like convincing somebody to sell. It feels like offering hope to somebody looking for a way to make extra income. You guys, the power of listening is so huge in so many ways. And so those are the 2 challenges as we go from this call. Go live this week and tell us when you do, and then give time to listen. Give time to listen that the people are coming across your path. Meet them where they're at and offer them a solution. We've got the best specials in the world, y'all. Give 10, saves them $10. Free Slim gets them a free bag of Slim with that big combo. And so many of y'all are offering personal incentives on top. And I love that, because I think what that does is it makes it matter. It gives you buy-in to helping somebody reach the goals they have. And I love that part of this. I love it. It's making it not about sales, but about service. Okay. And so let's lean in. Let's finish this month so strong, y'all. We have an extra day this month. It's like the best circumstance. Usually February is a 28-day month, but it's not this year. It's 29-day month. Incredible things are going to happen. And y'all, people are ready. And I am telling you, every single person, there's 22 people on this call. Someone is waiting for you to message them. Will you do it? Will you do it? That's the simple ask that I have. And I want you to consider that as you leave here. And then I want you to talk to your sponsor and come up with a plan, okay? I'm so excited for what this month is going to hold. I know we're going to have a whole lot of celebrations. And I totally think, I'm just calling it, at least 10 of us are going to earn the $400 cash. Okay? 10 of us. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be you? Because I am gunning for it. Because we just had to pay $800 to cut down a darn tree in our front yard. And I want that $400. So let's go help our friends. Let's finish the month strong. And we will see you back here next week. Okay, guys? Good night.